Have you ever taken a picture on the streets that you thought was fantastic, and then you get home and are disappointed to discover that unfortunately you didn't get the focus right and the picture is a bit blurred? Well, zone focusing is a fantastic technique to make sure that you nail the focus every single time and avoid those disappointments. So in today's video, I'm going to explain what zone focusing is, but more importantly, I'm going to take you out on the streets of Shanghai with me together and show you how I use the technique to get sharp photos every single time. So let's go. So one of the main challenges we face as street photographers is that we often come across scenes that happen very quickly. Maybe it's someone going past on a bike at speed, or just something that's happening very quickly. So what you need to do is to capture that image very, very quickly. And often you don't have time to actually focus before taking the picture. So by using the zone focusing technique, you basically just have to compose the shot and press the shutter very, very quickly. And this can happen in a split second, as I'll show you in the demonstration that I'm going to share with you a little bit later on in the video. So basically, zone focusing is a technique where you set the camera's focus manually in advance. And then when you come across an interesting scene in the street, you don't have to spend time getting the focus right, because you've already done that. So you can just focus on composing, aiming the camera at whatever it is you want to take the picture of, and press the shutter, knowing that it's going to be in sharp focus. It's a lot easier than you might think. All it involves is understanding how depth of field works and how it varies depending on the aperture you choose. So in general, what you would do is choose a relatively small aperture, so either f8, f11 for example, and to avoid motion blur, which can happen if the subject is moving, in general you would also choose a shutter speed which was relatively fast. So 1/250 for example is ideal. If the lighting conditions don't allow that, maybe at a stretch you could go to 1/125. So before we head out into the streets, I did want to say one thing that's very, very important here. This is really a demonstration of the technique, and so the photos that I'm sharing with you are not in any way particularly remarkable. So the video was shot in the space of around 10 minutes altogether, although I've done some edits to make it a little bit less boring. But as you probably know, as a street photographer, to get that one fantastic shot, you often have to be out for an entire day, and we simply didn't have that time. So this is just pictures that I've taken in the space of a very short time, just to demonstrate the technique. So please don't feel the need to comment or critique the pictures themselves. They're merely there as a demonstration. These are the actual pictures that I took while out and about and filming this video. So now that's out of the way, let's get started. So there are, I think, 5 shots here, which I just took by walking along the streets of Shanghai a couple of days ago. And what you'll notice really is how quickly I can snap the picture. And in every single case, nobody has noticed that I've taken their picture. It's very, very discreet. I've added an artificial shutter sound because my Leica Q2, the camera that I've been using for this demonstration, has a almost silent shutter, so nobody will actually hear this noise. But what I've done is I've added the shutter sound just so that you can have a rough idea of when I actually click the shutter. So it's really for your benefit. So are you ready? Okay, let's go.
5分钟有这么远吗？
I hope you enjoyed that little behind the scenes sneak peek into how I take some of my pictures. So obviously this technique is used for candid photography rather than street portrait. So I'm not asking for permission. I'm not asking people to pose for photos, although I do also do that kind of street photography. And I've actually done some videos that discuss the pros and cons of asking for permission before taking the picture. If you're interested, you can go through and have a look at those videos after you've watched this one. So I haven't gone into the technical details of how to set up your camera specifically for zone focusing. The reason is because I've already done a video on that, and you can see that video up here. And I'll put that in the description below as well, so you can maybe watch that one next if you haven't already seen it. And then once you fully understand the technique, I really do hope that you will go out and practice it for yourself. And please do let me know in the comments below how you got on with this new technique and whether you feel like it's really helped you to bring your street photography to the next level. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.